on the left and my strict parents on the right.
See you later, free range parents.
Children should be trusted to make their own decisions.
Oh, this is how many.
So of course children
forward?
should make their own decisions.
Okay.
I mean, we're trying to raise them to be responsible adults. If they don't make decisions, they'll never learn.
When my child is possibly going to make a bad decision, what I want to do is not tell him it's a bad decision. I think that's the wrong thing to do, because then ultimately he's probably going to reject that anyway.
Also, it depends on what we're talking about decisions about. Like if it's bedtime and you want your kids to be in bed at 8 o'clock, I think that is up to you. But I remember a time my son called me, he was 10 at the time, and he said, "Mom, can I have another piece of banana bread?" And I thought, I felt bad, because of course that's a very simple decision. They expected that I was the one to decide almost everything about what they were eating and doing, and I felt like there was something wrong, and that actually started me reevaluating things. And can they climb the tree? Just let them climb the tree.
And what's the worst that can happen? They break an arm?
Right. Yeah.
Oh well.
Let her finish.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that. Oh, first of all, what do you think? You said yeah. It sounds like you agree.
Yeah, like, no, like, she said what's the worst that could happen? Like, yeah, the worst that could happen. Not the worst, but, like, yeah, they could break an arm. Like, if you mean, like, they're trusted to make their own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they could break an arm.
Yeah, I think that in some of the things that they said is it's quite interesting. Like the one guy that said he wouldn't tell his kid that what he's doing is a bad decision. He will just let his kid make that decision and the repercussions follow. Honestly, I think that's not good, bro. I don't think that's not good. As a dad who has wisdom of how the current world is and how, you know, decisions lead to certain consequences, you should always correct your kid, bro. Especially if you wouldn't let your kid play with a gun that's loaded.
Yeah.
If they pull the trigger, they're gonna kill themselves. You're just gonna let your kid just play with the pole and see what happens if he pulls the trigger, or play with the pot that has hot water on it. You're gonna just keep letting your kid reach up and try and grab that handle even though there's hot water in there. You just gonna watch him? Come on now, bro. Come on now. That's just no. That's how accidents happen.
They're not supposed to make decisions.
Yeah, and like when she's talking about the kid asking for, I think it was a muffin or a piece of bread or something like that.
Banana bread or something.
Yeah, banana bread. And she was like, she was hurt that her kid, you know, came and asked for permission to eat. I understand what she's saying, but I kind of disagree still in that aspect, because when kids get hungry, they shouldn't always eat when they're hungry. And when I say that, it sounds like you're starving your kid, but I'm talking about your kid just ate fries and chicken tenders. 30 minutes later, comes to you and wants something else to eat. You like, no, like you can regulate that. You don't want your kid to be overeating and then be obese. You be seeing some people's kids walking around looking like a damn bowling ball. Say ooh. Say ooh.
I mean, regulating their food and starving them is different.
Yeah, like, he's not gonna... If I just bought a whole tub of ice cream, that kid is not gonna eat the whole tub of ice cream. No, Nick. You better ask. And just for me to say no, too. I'm gonna say it real well. And then I'm gonna go get some ice cream myself. That sounds a little bit... You know what I'm saying? Your kid gonna hate you at that point.
Damn.
I'm not that savage, y'all. That's a bit savage. I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit savage, but yeah.
That can happen. They break an arm?
Right. Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, for my kid specifically, she can go outside and play after school, and she can draw, and she can do whatever, but there is a very healthy boundary. Like, we don't have the type of health care that most people have. So, like, no, you can't climb a tree. If it's like, oh, I don't want to play violin anymore, but it's like, you're not allowed to quit things that you start, because even as an adult, you become a flaky adult.
Well, you see so many parents nowadays who just, like, bend to every whim of their child. Children should be trusted to make their own decisions when it is wise for them to make their own decisions. You know, I'm not going to let my 5-year-old decide that he's not going to brush his teeth anymore because he doesn't. You know, as the child grows and as you as a parent train that child, then more freedom should be granted to make their own decisions.
But I don't think we should train our children. I feel like you train a dog and not a kid.
I think train is a good word.
You do train your kids.
Train a dog.
That's completely.
She
you do
just compared children to dogs.
Yeah, that's completely different. You don't let your kid outside to go to the bathroom, and you don't put a leash on your kid and have him walking around. But when he says train, she knows exactly what he means. Like brushing your teeth. Yes, you have to brush your teeth. Yes, you have to take a shower. Yes, you need to work out and not just be lazy and just on your ass all day. No, you gotta have some level of discipline. You gotta clean up. You gotta be clean. You feel me? You train your child. Let's be honest. I wonder what her kid is like, man. I wonder what her kid is like.
This is the thing that will ruin your reputation. Not your years of grotesque appearance or awkward social graces, or that Felix Ungerish way you clear your sinuses. No. It's this. Do you hear yourself talk?
Then more freedom should be granted to make their own decisions.
But I don't think we should train our children. I feel like you train a dog and not a kid.
I think train is a good word.
I don't want a trained child.
Okay, well I do.
I want a child who has
to be trained, to be
and who's
respectful.
maybe not like me.
You know, yeah, I'm not saying it's to be like me.
Do you think you need to train them to be respectful, or do you think that you guide them in a way to learn to be respectful because of the decisions they've chosen?
Both.
You can guide them.
You definitely teach your children to be respectful.
You guide them as well, but she's trying to say that's different.
Like, your kids should always respect you, and when they go out in public, they should respect everybody around them. Your kids shouldn't just walk up to somebody and just hit them just because they wanted to. I mean, come on now. You're set. I feel like some of them parents are setting their kids up for failure. Not teaching your kids how to. I don't feel like we should train our children, and I feel like my child should make every decision possible. I shouldn't correct my child. Yeah, bro. Oh my goodness. I need to see what they children like. I gotta see this, bro. Oh.
So what would you consider your parenting style to be?
I try to be as biblical as I can when it comes to parenting. I know a lot of people would disagree on that, but I have 5 kids, and I do my best to follow it, and I found so much wisdom, and it's worked.
I don't really follow rules. Even if it's a theory of free-range parenting per se, if you're following those free-range parenting rules, then you become strict. And I don't think that there should be rules. It should be whatever the day brings.
What do you think about that?
No rules, whatever the day brings. They have no rules, so I mean, that can't be good.
I agree.
Deserve privacy.
Maybe. Wait, I don't know.
Absolutely.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
there we go. Oh, wait, we have a straggler.
Even though they're not adults, they're still people, and they need time to either hear their thoughts or process things, or just they need a sense of comfort and solitude and things that are sacred to them.
So I don't have any teenagers yet. There's no way.
Just wait.
There's no way.
Maybe my opinion would change.
I mean, there's no way that I'm not going to have access to their cell phone. That's not going to happen. But if they want time alone, I think that's fine, and they should have that, and it's healthy to do that. The reason I hesitated is because I think back to my childhood. There were things that happened sometimes that can last with you for the rest of your life. You know, people can be abused online now. So when I have that parent spidey sense of something's not right here, and my kid's gonna be like, no, you can't have my cell phone. Yes, I can.
Yeah, I agree.
In our household, we live by this kind of thought. Live your life in such a way that if everyone could see what you're doing in private, that you wouldn't be ashamed. So my kids also look through my phone. Privacy is not something a child should be entitled to have. Do we give our kids quiet downtime? Yes. Am I looking through all their stuff? No. I actually agree with the definition of downtime and privacy. At my house, there's no privacy because you don't pay any bills. She also trusts me, and I've wanted to make a relationship to where she trusts me that even if she came to tell me, like, there's no...
$10. She from the South. She from the South.
She goes, they don't pay bills.
Uh-huh.
I actually agree with the definition of downtime and privacy. At my house, there's no privacy because you don't pay any bills. She also trusts me, and I've wanted to make a relationship to where she trusts me that even if she came to tell me, like, there's no yell, I don't yell and I don't scream and I don't do any things like that. We're very open, but there is no privacy.
So I just wanted to put in a plea, though, for some privacy. You know, I go around and I talk about free-range kids, and sometimes what I ask the audience is to tell me when something did go wrong. And I asked them, did you tell your parents? What do you think they said?
No.
Why do you think they said it?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Being in trouble,
You think it's trouble. They said they didn't want their freedom taken away.
I think it's important, though, that we hold our children accountable, because in the world, there are plenty of adults who are not held accountable, who've never been held accountable, and they just do things that are terrible.
But most of childhood is little things, and you don't have to be there for everyone, because that's when kids start realizing, I can handle this.
When you hear the term free-range parent, what do you think of?
Privilege, the ability to just do things without any repercussions or consequences. As a Black person or a person of color, we sometimes just don't have the privilege to allow our children to be free range. Although I would love for her to be free spirited and just do and be, she can't, because Black kids get murdered in the street.
Parents should be parents and not friends.
Ooh, facts. I had a feeling.
Everyone should be sitting down. Everyone. Parent first.
Your friend will be that one. Let me do it like this. Your friend, that guy will be smoking meth with you, sitting outside poor. Your friend. You feel me? Come on now, bro. Your parent needs to be your parent.
No, this is actually hard for me. My job is not to be my kid's friend, it's to be their parent. But I don't think that is mutually exclusive of not being their friend either, if that makes any sense. But I prioritize, right, being the parental unit.
First.
Me and my mom, I would say that she's my best friend. But like as a child, she was my mom. And I hope to have that type of relationship with my daughter. But right now, I'm the parent and you're the child, because I don't want you to lose respect for me. Like, I'm not gonna go clubbing with my daughter. Like, there's just some things that I'm just not gonna do, that I do with my friends, that I'm not gonna do with my kid.
I agree that I'm their mom first, but I'm also their friend. I'm also someone that they trust and admire, and they come to, and I listen to them, and I give them my opinions, and we have forged a friendship, but it's not without my position as the authority in their life, their provider, their comfort, their mama.
In my mind, once my kids are 18 or
I wonder
let's
what
just say
she views as a mom. Does she think that there's no relationship whatsoever when you think of a mom and a child bond? Like,
What do you mean?
Meaning, like, does she see being a mom as only like you correcting them, not you being there to actually comfort your child? That's not you being a friend, that's you being an actual mom, a loving mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A friend, there are certain bounds that, you know, friends will not cross, that a mom will cross. So I think that she should have sat down with the first crew, because being a friend and being a mom are two different things.
moved out of the house. They are an adult. And at that point, I want to stop parenting. If I haven't parented enough by the time they're 18, then that was my chance. I don't want to be a parent after 18. And when it comes to clubbing, I hope that when my kid is old and grown up and they're going out for a beer at a bar or whatever they're doing, of course I want to come with them.
But here's the thing, I just want to say on the other side of that is that we never stop growing up. I mean, man, I don't have parents. I wish I did. There's some times where I wish I could just ask for help. I mean, my grandmother just passed away in May. And I remember, like, just feeling like, what am I gonna do? And that was not a friend moment. That was me hiding like a little child on her lap, weeping and crying and needing that.
I guess I don't want
do
that.
No, you're going to do
Yeah.
that. Your kid comes to you, I'm sure you
course.
will.
I guess I just
You
want
will.
this,
Right.
I want them to be very independent.
Right, but you
and
can be
strong, and I
very
don't want
independent.
them to feel-
She's super
Yeah,
independent.
for sure.
With your own mother, do you have a mother? And
Why
if
is
you
she
do,
speaking for her like that? She's super independent, bro. You don't even know her.
Of course, I guess I just want this,
Right.
I want them to be very independent.
Right, but you
and
can be
strong, and I
very
don't want
independent.
them to feel-
She's super
Yeah,
independent.
for
Super.
with your own mother, do you have a mother? And if you do, do you ever just need your mama sometimes? Do you ever
Not
just
really.
You don't need to like
No.
get hugged or
From
have like
I
the
speak
love
to
and
her like
comfort?
she's my friend
Okay.
now, and I think I spoke to her as my friend when I was growing up.
So
as well.
she don't respect her mama really then.
That's her friend.
Yeah. Like some things you say to your friends
There's
you would not say to your
different
mom.
levels of respect, like things I would say to my aunt, things I would say to my friend. I would never say the same things to my aunt.
Yeah, that's just there's certain level of respect that you gotta have for people. So yeah,
There's certain levels of respect you usually have for your family. That I mean, you're not gonna be doing or saying the same things as you'll do with your best friend.
Get hugged or
From
have like
I
the
speak
love
to
and
her like
comfort?
she's my friend
Okay.
now, and I think I spoke to her as my friend when I was growing up as well, because she didn't parent. I had no rules.
And that explains a lot. When you talk about your philosophy, it's really a first-hand account where maybe some of the rest of us are like exploring how we might want to parent.
Right, but we all raise our children probably according to a little bit of how we were raised.
What we know, what we wished had been different,
Yeah.
and then there's so many societal influences. Sure.
You mentioned before you were kind of facing everything on your own, that you didn't have parents to kind of guide you. How do you think that has shaped the way that you parent?
That's a good question.
Growing up without the security of knowing who I was and knowing that I was dearly loved and cherished by my mother and father was soul-crushing for me. As a mother, I have the opportunity to raise up a new generation of healthy, whole individuals who are able to go forth and create new families of their own and be a light in this world. And that's really what my hope is of my children.
Creating a family is not hard. That's not hard. You just go get you a little cooter. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm gonna have to edit that out. I'm gonna have to edit
Go
that
get you.
Yeah, making a family is not hard. Y'all get what I mean. Just do a little wink. I'll just do a wink. Yeah.
Okay.
Child is an acceptable form of punishment.
Yes.
What?
Spanking a child is an
I don't want to get involved at all.
Yeah, this is not.
Do we have to?
We don't have to do it at all.
I don't even want to
I'm still
stand
thinking.
back here.
Well, we don't have to, you guys don't have to participate in the conversation whatsoever.
But is it going to show our position, like standing back or sitting?
Duh!
We do
Oh
see
my
you guys in the
goodness,
background,
bro.
but we just
Oh
want-
my goodness. Do you think spanking is good for a child or no?
We need it.
I agree. I needed my behind tough when I was Yeah.
I needed it.
Yeah.
I was pretty wild.
To hear his perspective, then people can walk forward, but if you don't want to participate in the conversation whatsoever, you don't have to.
Well, yeah, so I'm kind of saddened that nobody else walked forward because not only do I think it's an acceptable form of punishment, but I think it's one of the best. And the reason is because it's effective, it's quick, it's over, it's done, and the kid can go off and play again and not have to sit in a corner or languish in a room or something like that. And it's not about getting angry, I'm mad, I'm gonna whack my kid. No, it's about, okay, you did something you weren't supposed to do, and you're going to get spanked for this.
So I'm going to ask any of my disagreeers who wish to step forward to talk about this. Please do. If you wish not to step forward, you don't have to.
I bet the black lady gonna talk about slavery.
The specific anecdote I have is for my child is one time, like, you know, as a parent, you can lose your patience, and that happens. We would just kind of like slap him on the hand when he did something, like, don't do that, don't do that. And I remember one time he did something, and he started becoming more self-aware, and he started hitting himself on the hand and hitting himself. And I was like, I can't do this. We can't go down this path with him. This is not going to work for, at least specifically for him. And I think it's a case-by-case basis too. Like, you know, you've led your kids in a way that hopefully he doesn't lash out into the real world. I don't want him to react like that to someone else either. And I just feel like that's my responsibility. So.
Yeah, and you know, I hear that opponents to spanking will say, I don't want my child to be violent.
Yeah.
You know, I have 5 kids, 10 and under, and the exact opposite is true.
Because do you think it's a bad memory for them?
What's that?
Do you think that they're going to have memories of these times being spanked, and that it will be
sure, and I think they'll be thankful for it.
How many times your daddy whoop your ass and you cry? How many times your daddy whoop your ass? I don't cry, man.
I would do, because I
take it from a child that has been spanked before. My mom has told me up, my grandma's told me up.
Yep.
I do not think about it today. In fact, like when I look at some of y'all children that be acting up in the stove, that be stealing in the stove, that be just throwing tantrums in the stove, man, that little nigga need a whooping. He need a little, you know what I mean? Quick 1-2, set him straight. Yeah, bro, it's not as traumatizing as you think, bro. There's a difference between being spanked and being abused. You know what I'm saying? It's not like your parent comes in there and they sitting in there throwing fades with you. You have some parents that are like that. That's more abuse. That's more abuse. But like granny coming in there with the belt, with the switch that you picked, the switch you picked, nigga. You know? Or the paddle. If y'all ever had that TV antenna, you're a soldier. The TV antenna was crazy.
I had a paddle.
Paddle?
Yeah.
Ooh. Has it, do you feel like that's affected you today? Like, do you think about?
I was bad. I knew I was bad too, so I needed it. I probably would have been worse if I didn't. Probably, you know, it gave me some fear, you know, to not do it again. Like,
there comes a point to where talking is not working with your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. They're
just gonna walk all over you.
Dang. I don't agree with spanking.
Because do you think it's a bad memory for them?
What's that?
Do you think that they're going to have memories of these times?
It's not like
it can be traumatic if you're beating the fuck out of them. Mm-hmm. But if you're just, you know, you did this, like he said, and this is why you're gonna get spanked, that's different.
This isn't like, it's not like 12 years a slave where you're just getting you're getting whipped or anything like that, you know. It's not like you're getting hit in the back. They hitting your booty cheek, bruh. They hitting your booty cheek, your leg, probably your calf too. Shoot, yeah. But other than that, yeah, spanking is necessary.
How to be violent.
Yeah.
You know, I have 5 kids, 10 and under, and the exact opposite is true.
Because do you think it's a bad memory for them?
What's that?
Do you think that they're going to have memories of these times being spanked, and that it will be
sure, and I think they'll be thankful for it. I would do, because I
would be lying if I said I never have spanked my child. Of course but I don't feel good about it. Yeah. Don't you want to raise your child to not want to do things because they feel as if they'll be a better person, not because they're going to be punished for it?
Yeah, both. Yeah. See, this is hard for me to understand, because I come from a culture where everyone, like all my friends, have loving parents that spanked them as kids, and now they've grown up to be great well-functional adults who respect their parents and are glad their parents spanked them.
Okay, I'm just gonna say my view. Mm-hmm. So I don't spank my child, one, because of chattel slavery and Jim Crow. I'm a black person, and I live in a world where...
I told you she was going to mention something to do... Yeah, I had a feeling she was going to take it there. I understand what she means about the whole Jim Crow thing, but understand that raising a strong child is essential. Like, everything that you miss with the child can be potential harm to them in the future. Dang. I had a feeling she was going to mention something like that.
Okay, I'm just going to say my view. Mm-hmm. So I don't spank my child, one, because of chattel slavery and Jim Crow. Mm-hmm. I'm a black person, and I live in a world where black people are beaten all the time. I have a mother who spanked me. Mm-hmm. I'm not glad that I was spanked. Mm-hmm. I respect her, but I'm not happy about that. Also, the same thing with the people who are like, I was spanked, I came out great. They usually have like anger issues, they're violent, they whip their own kids, they probably need therapy. Usually they don't even realize how emotionally fucked up they are.
Well, you gotta understand, parenting is more than just I spank or I don't spank. If you're a terrible parent and you think that spanking is gonna fix your kid.
Like we said before, there is a difference between spanking and abuse. Mm-hmm. Black people being beaten in the streets, that is abuse. Slaves back in the day, that is abuse. So, you getting hit on your butt by a belt because you stole something out the store, mm-hmm. and your mama almost got arrested for it, mm-hmm. or you know you did something while you slashed your mom's tires, you broke the neighbor's window. Come on now, bro, and your mom gotta pay for it. Come on now, man.
You're wrong.
I sometimes fear I am raising my children the wrong way.
I know that dude's gonna be confident. Uh-huh.
I think part of parenting is always worrying. I mean, as hard as I try to do the right things, you know, there's always doubts in your mind that you've done something wrong.
I love to tell parents, especially new ones, that we're all winging it. We're making mistakes every day, but the good thing about it is that our kids still love us. They still look at us like mommy and their
or
eyes.
Friend. Right. Club buddy.
Right. So like parenting is literally just like one huge ass experiment.
That's a nice expression.
You know?
Parenting is one huge ass experiment.
Your kids are your test subjects? One
kids
big experiment?
Kids are not experiments if you think that don't have kids.
And y'all talking about children that are damaged? Bro, y'all, oh my goodness.
No, experiments.
That one guy that said
Failed
he wouldn't,
experiment.
that one guy that's sitting down that said that he wouldn't tell his kid that something they were doing was wrong, they would just let it happen. I'm glad that you know, I'm not going to be insulted. But yeah.
Right. People think that I have the answer because I wrote Free Range Kids and I run this Let Grow, and all I can say is that believing in your kids, you know, believing in them, whether you give them a timeout or you're spanking them, believing that your kids have this capacity for being a decent human being, and they're going to make mistakes, they're going to be okay. That's what kids want.
So, first of all, I think that parents are too hard on themselves, and you know what? Ultimately, your children are going to make their own decisions. For me, I don't wonder about whether or not I'm raising my kids right, because I try to raise my kids according to what the Bible says, and so I have a guide that I fall short fulfilling all the time, but I look to it as my guide. And so just a few simple guidelines, if you follow and you love your kids, you care about them, and you spend time with them, then ultimately they're going to be okay.
I just love my kids so much, and I give them 110%. One of the neat things that I'm giving my kids that's a little bit different is a mother and father who are married and faithful to one another, which I didn't have that. And so it makes me feel really good that I'm giving them that. I know that I'll never just be totally set in my ways and be unwilling to change and to become a better mother. So I will never give up growing myself.
The one piece of parenting advice I give everyone is don't listen to all the advice, because The beautiful thing about parenting is not what you're teaching your child, but sometimes what you're learning with your child.
I think we all just want the same things. Everybody.
Trust me. You gonna learn a lot, my guy. Not telling your kid something is wrong. Let your kid play with a burner and not tell him it's wrong. You gonna learn a lot. Quickly too.
Is don't listen to all the advice, because the beautiful thing about parenting is not what you're teaching your child, but sometimes what you're learning with your child.
I think we all just want the same things. Everybody wants their children to be confident and secure in their love.
It's just a lot of fun to have kids. And I always tell people, I said, if you want to be a happier person, have more kids, because kids are just so much fun.
Group hug,
That was a very, very interesting topic. What do you think?
I'm concerned.
Do you think that you're a strict parent now? Or are you more free range?
If like that's free range, I'm definitely not free range.
Yeah, I feel like I'm strict, most definitely. Spankings, necessary. Privacy, you can give your kid privacy, but like as far as your kid having a phone and you not going through it as a parent, especially if your kid is young, there are a lot of child predators out there.
Yeah.
Child trafficking.
Especially on video games.
Child trafficking on a high, multi-billion-dollar business. It's important to watch your kids and to be around your kids, to spend time with your kids too as well. So, yeah, this was a good video. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section. Do you guys think that kids should be spanked? Do you think that kids should have total privacy? And as far as disciplining your child, yeah, you guys let me know your parenting style down below in the comment section. And I'm going to get at you guys in the next reaction video.
See ya.